Hey everybody, this is Kevin from the Silver Echo. I'm taking you behind the scenes on our latest video, Toxic Hero, so you can see how I put together some of the mini sets and did some of the filming for the video. This one that I'll show you now is basically the main part of the video, if you will, next to the apartment. And this has got Justin and I, or our puppet versions of ourselves here in a studio. The inspiration for the room, if you will, is exactly the room that I'm standing in. If you kind of see up here, I have the Silver Echo sign. This is where we would usually practice. I have my practice drums, of course, here. Nothing behind that wall that you need to see, I promise. Nothing back there that you need to see. Posters, of course, and then this amazing blue voodoo sign that my mother designed. It's an actual neon sign. And so when we were building the sets, she actually did the exact same sign there for us. I have blue moving blankets up to dampen the sound in the garage, thus the blue color that you see here as well. So a lot of cool things I'll share with you. Maybe we'll start with the amp. So the amp is just a simple box, painted black. Got some screws that I screwed into the front to look like knobs. There's a little Christmas button back here, if you'll see. This guy is just a piece of like holly or something from a Christmas decoration that I found. And that and a hot glue gun gave it the little red look of a Fender amp or Fender style amp. Construction paper, glitter construction paper glued on. Again, a glue gun is your friend. Did the little rock thing on the front of the amp to kind of give it a look like, sort of like a Fender. What I loved about this whole thing, there's a company that a friend of mine told me about that makes miniature guitars. They're actually out of the Bay Area. And they have all different types of, classic guitars. Well, Justin owns a gold top Les Paul, as well as this butterscotch Telly that's back here. So I ordered 2 of these beautiful miniature guitars, and they worked out perfectly sort of with the size of the puppet. So it worked out great. Now, getting the guitar strap or getting the guitar to stay on the puppet was a bit of a challenge, I know. But again, my mom, being the amazing crafts person that she is, she built a strap that actually could affix to the guitar. You'll see the cable I attached. This is an actual necklace cable, like a rubber necklace, if you will, and just kind of glued it to the amp and then kind of hung it around the guitar there so it looked like his cable was plugged in. For the drums, again, Mom did some incredible work there, just finding pieces of cardboard to shape to look like the kick and the snare and the tom. I made the stands, I believe, out of like shish kebabs, like wooden shish kebabs that you could paint. I painted them black. And the same type of construction paper, the glittery paper there, just made the symbols as well. Now, animating the puppets was fun. Of course, I got holes here. I have them on stands right now, so I could do a little bit of this kind of stuff and get close-ups of the guitar moving. And so I could wiggle this way and have some kind of fun with that. But when I wanted the mouth to move, of course, like a sock puppet, I would have to manipulate it. Well, I was manipulating the puppet with one hand and filming with the other to get a lot of these crazy angles like that stuff. But the drummer was kind of stuck still. And I was struggling to figure out how to take care of that. So again, shout out. This was a family affair. My wife stepped in and helped me with this as well. So we attached some blue thread. Let's see if it's not tangled here, but the idea, some blue thread to this puppet, and then we could basically manipulate it with this guy. Right? It's a saxophone cleaner. So I have this here so I can basically manipulate the puppet's hands moving around. And of course, out of frame, it just looks like he's smashing the ride cymbal or the crash as we're going. The Route 66, or 666, it's just kind of a callback. Yes, it has all the biblical references that everyone would know, but that is also a callback to our Fear on High video. It's a fun little Easter egg. If you go back and watch that video, you'll see if you can find where that 666 shows up. It was a happy accident when we were filming that video. So we thought, oh, what a fun little way to bring it back. And in fact, we actually had a Route 66 sign in this studio here that I'm standing in. We put lights, good fairy lights in there, and a disco ball. It was actually a Christmas ornament, but I thought, oh, it's kind of perfect to scale. So we just added that there to add a little bit of look to it, since the shots kind of, with the strobe effect that you see in the video, gave it sort of a nighttime a look, if you will, or a vibe. So that is basically the rundown of that set. Of course, we had 2 other sets that we put together. One was going to be the apartment, of course, and I have some footage of that as well. And then the other is for the sort of presidential room, if you will, or press room that you usually see a president delivering speeches from. I wanted to kind of keep that one simple, is not to be so on the nose, but just creating something with some of the props and so forth as well. Next up are the props. I'll show you those in just a sec. Okay, so let's talk about different props that you probably saw in the video. So one, we'll start with the sort of TV and have a simple box. I wanted something that looked like an old school classic TV, even though maybe the things that we're referring to aren't necessarily old school, but for whatever reason, I just love the look of an old sort of console TV. So again, nothing too crazy, just some buttons on there for the knobs. We put some green in there as well, so I could do a good job of trying to key that out as much as possible. A little cap there, some fun little bunny ears, of course, on the thing there, and a little bit of things to give it a lift on the TV. Now, there's a shot in the video that was kind of tough to do. Justin, of course, had a great idea to make it look as though one of the puppets is coming out of the TV. Well, I hadn't planned on that, but it was a great idea, so we had to figure out how we're going to do that. Well, found another box at my work. It was kind of hollowed out like a packing box. So we, again, affixed the thing on the top of the TV, but this would enable me to stick a hand or to put the puppet actually like it was coming through the TV. And just shooting from the top of it, you wouldn't tell that it wasn't the actual TV, the first TV we made. Let's see. Podium. This was fun. Again, another packing box and a piece of cardboard painted black. I found an old, like a headset or something that was stuck in a drawer somewhere, and I thought, oh, that looks exactly like a microphone that could go on a podium. Again, everything's just stuff, junk around the house. But hot glue gun. I designed a logo called United in Darkness again. And I forgot, I think it was we believe only one truth or something like that, I think was the Latin phrase that I used. But I wanted something that was kind of presidential, but a little dark and evil, if you will. So the double-headed red eagle is kind of what came from that. Let's see. Books. Those were actually, I did buy those on Amazon, the little miniature books that you see. Those were so cool as they were actually covers of real books. A lot of hot glue, gluing those suckers together and then stacking them. This is just a coffee table that was made out of a phone box, like for a case. And then, of course, some legs are glued on, a bunch of spray paint, and there you have it. Microphone and a microphone stand. This was really cool as well. Mom kind of put this one together. This is a lid off of a container of some kind of gummies or something. Again, another little cable there that looks like a necklace coming out of the back of the microphone stand. And then just wrapping a little bit of stuff there around the end to look like a microphone. Very, very, very cool. Bookshelf. Another box, probably another Amazon box. Again, gluing all the books in there. So cool. Again, but just a lot of time kind of putting this all together. As I said, a hot glue gun is your friend. So there's a lot of really cool things to take a look at here. But those are some fun afternoons putting all that together. I went to Lowe's, and I was just looking around for something else, and I saw all these paneling or for like laminate floor, and they were free samples, and I thought, oh man, that might work for an actual floor in the apartment to look like an actual floor. So I got several of those, put those together, and laid them down on the floor to give a look of an actual laminate flooring in the apartment. Not to scale, but of course it worked out as well as it needed to. This is like one of my favorite things. Again, giving a lot of credit to my mom. This was a box of lollipops that we had that we're going to give out for Halloween. And the back of it folded out, and she literally had some old fur from God knows what, a pillow or something, or I don't even remember what it was. I said, I got to figure out how to make this chair so that the puppet can come up through the middle of it, but it looks three-dimensional, so I can shoot from different angles. I came back in like a half an hour, and she had built this masterpiece of a lazy boy recliner looking thing there. This was seriously one of my favorite things, and just worked out so well for the video. In my opinion, it really added another layer of authenticity. And of course, rounding it out, I bought a couple of actual miniature lamps from like doll houses and stuff. These things both light up, so it was really, really fun to kind of put all that stuff together. I hope you've enjoyed. Maybe I'll show you some of the other puppets and so forth as well, but I kind of want to save them for other times. Maybe there'll be something else. Oh yeah, by the way, the Kurt Cobain that was in the studio, that's there, although I got to rehang that, so my apologies, Kurt. Anywho, thank you all so much for hopefully enjoying the video. More to come. I'll share some more of this stuff later as we go, but please check out the video. It was a really fun time making it, and I hope you all enjoy. Take care.